earlier. It starts at the unis and stuff to have more females in technical jobs and stuff, and that's the thing. That's why I love that program there to be different, because it starts very early. The girls are 8 to 10 years, so, and this is a time where you need to put it in their head that they can do that. That's just normal, like that they have someone to look up to.
Welcome back to The Tea with Nikki. We are pro tea, not anti-coffee, and help yourself to a glass of wine or a quarantini as well if that's what makes you comfortable. Today I sit down with Romy Mayer, who's part of the 888 engineering team. She's a race car engineer on the Redbull racing team, as well as being the lead engineer on the AMG GT3 series in Asia, where the driver is the Prince of Malaysia. We talk about the hardships that she's had to endure as being the only female engineer on her team, how she's overcome it, how she's also paving the way for future female race car engineers and female drivers by being an ambassador of Dare to be Different. She's also an ambassador for the Future Females organization, which I am the Cape Town chapter for. And we have a bit of fun and we have some laughs. I think that the obvious question is, how did you find your way to studying engineering and becoming an engineer for supercars?
Yes, so I'm not coming from a motorsport family or anything, so it was more a slow process. I was really good in school in physics and maths, so my dad always wanted me to be an engineer, but as a girl, I always felt like, I'm not sure about this, it's only about men and big machines and stuff, so I wasn't that sure. And then I did actually an internship with Mercedes in Germany with the road cars, and then I'm like, oh yeah, actually that's pretty cool. Like I want to design cars. And then actually during my studies, it was when I first got in contact a little bit with the motorsport. We had a team at uni. It's a race team. Which a lot of unis with technical studies they have, and then you race against the other. So you build a car, you design a race car, you build it, and then you race it. So that was the first time I got into motorsport, and then I got my first job with Mercedes in Germany with the DTM team, which is like a touring car racing. And and then I was in motorsport.
Wow. And so obviously we can detect an accent. You are from Germany. How did you find yourself now on the Gold Coast in Australia?
After 5 years in my job in Germany, I really felt I needed change in the job. Well, the job itself I really enjoyed, but I wanted to either work in a different race series or abroad. I really wanted to go abroad. And then, one of the countries which has a lot of motorsport is England, but the weather in England is also similar to Germany, pretty shit. So I looked around and did some research, and then there was the Redbull racing team in Australia, which actually they just announced that they expand from 2 race cars to 3 the year after. And then I thought, they might need another engineer. So I just applied with them and all worked out. And then was in 2015 I moved to Australia.
Oh wow. So what it is that you do exactly as an engineer on the 888 Redbull?
It's a job which varies a lot, but what you can kind of define the job in like 3 stages. So we always, before we go to the race weekend, that's like all the preparation. So it starts from looking at data, what the car is doing, and all that from last year, and analyzing that and making decisions on what kind of parts need to go on the car for exactly that racetrack to make it fast on that racetrack. And then it's all about the communication with the mechanics who then put the parts on and put the car together as it should be. And then you travel to the racetrack, And on the racetrack, it's usually the similar procedure. So the first 2 days, it's all about testing. So you try different settings on the car and different parts and see what works and what doesn't. And then on usually Saturdays, we have a qualifying where the car needs to be fast for only 1 lap. So that determines where you start your race at. And that is actually very different from how the car will be on the Sunday for the race, because it needs to be fast only for 1 lap. But then on the next day when there's a race, if it falls apart after 3 laps, then you're not so good anymore. So it's pretty challenging all the time. It changes all the time. And then coming back to the workshop, we analyze everything. We analyze the car's performance, but also how the driver, how he evaluated the whole race weekend, and what we as a team can improve, and what did we do wrong, and how can we, if what mistake happened, and how can we prevent them for next time. So yeah, it's always exciting, especially because always you go to a different racetrack, so it's always different.
Do you travel with the team around the world as well, or?
Yeah, so actually we are mainly in Australia. So we travel in Australia, New Zealand, and then also we have a race series in Asia, which I'm part of that as well.
Okay. And can you tell us a bit more about your role as a lead engineer on the AMG GT3 series in Asia, where the driver is also the Prince of Malaysia?
Yes. Since actually beginning last year, being involved in that, and we support we have a car which we operate in the GT Asia series, and the race driver is the Prince from Malaysia. It sounds pretty fancy or so, but actually he's just when you know him, it's just he's not that normal, but when you talk to him, he's pretty normal. There's always just a lot of bodyguards around and stuff, but now he's a race driver like every other race driver, and very professional in that as well. And these cars are a bit different from the ones we race in Australia, so they have much more aerodynamics. So it's if you always need to switch your head to the other race car to just think about different settings and parts. And and this is actually very exciting, because with that race series we travel in Japan, South Korea, Thailand, Malaysia, and China. So it's at the moment it's all on hold, obviously, we try, or I think the plan is that they continue in October, so looking forward to that as well.
Looking forward to that as well. Can you tell us a bit about your involvement as a Dare to Be Different ambassador?
So the Dare to Be Different program is originally from the UK. So Susie Wolf, she's a race driver, used to be a race driver, now she's actually a team owner of a race team. She founded an initiative, and it's all about inspiring and showcasing to young girls what kind of sport, what kind of jobs are in motorsport. So it's not only giving them the opportunity to be a race driver, but all kind of jobs which are involved in motorsport, which is media, but engineering, physio, and the whole package. And it's very, very interesting, because a lot of the girls never really knew what is motorsport, and also not what's involved in all that. And then 2 years ago, we started that program in Australia, and so we have events all year round, usually when there's a race from any kind of race series, but also we go to schools or have events at the companies. And then it's just a day where the girls jump from one workshop to another, and they get the opportunity to do activities which similar what our job would be, or just give them an idea what it is like. And it's actually, I find it really important to show girls, especially to get them into a technical job, because that was for me always like that. I knew I liked maths and physics, but I couldn't really see what jobs are out there. What can I do with that? I just thought, oh, engineering, yeah, like I said, it's big machines, and I'm not interested in that. But actually, with engineering, you can do really cool things. So yeah, I really enjoy being part of that. And obviously, there are some really cool other girls as ambassadors, and we have a lot of fun when we plan the events and stuff. Yeah.
You have a lot of girls that come to you afterwards who are so inspired and want to become an engineer as well.
Oh yeah, especially because usually, so it's organized through their school, so they come with their teachers, and then the teachers come back to us with feedback and say, oh, they couldn't stop talking about it and stuff. And yeah, so I think for them it's always a very special idea. They get so many ideas and stuff in their heads, and yeah.
Hopefully we get a nice big wave of female engineers coming through in the next couple.
Yeah, I hope so too, because it's pretty boring being the only woman all the time.
So touching on that, you say you're the only woman in, or female engineer. Are there any other women in your team as well? Maybe not necessarily an engineer?
Yes, so we have so we have how many? 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 other women, including me, 4 women who travel with the team. That's mainly around 60. Yeah.
Wow. The ratio is very different. You hear 4, you're like, okay, in a team of 60.
And they are commercial team coordinator and social media and stuff, and it's nice to have them, and especially to have.
What's the hardest part about being the only engineer on the team?
Well, so usually whenever I started a new job, or even in my uni, because it was similar there, you kind of need to prove yourself in the beginning a lot. I felt like usually when there would be a new male engineer coming into a team, everyone kind of expect, oh, he's an engineer, he knows what he's doing, that's his job. But if I feel like I always need to, it takes like a couple of months until I have like kind of the respect, and everyone, oh yeah, she can do that too. So, and yeah, obviously you're always in the spotlight. And I kind of know it, or like learn to live with it now. But if you do something wrong, or if it's not going well, yeah, the light is on you. But also the other side, that's a positive as well, because if you're doing well, then you also get maybe a bit more the good view, what for others would be just normal. Yeah. I think that's the challenge. There's always some challenges in that. So I think it takes a lot of determination and resilience, but that's why I'm here.
And for a woman who's an aspiring F1 engineer or supercar engineer, or even a driver, what would be your sort of top tip on how they should pursue that?
Well, like I said, it takes some. So if you have a setback, or if things doesn't go well, and there will be obviously a lot on the way, because it's a lot of people want to be a lot of engineers want to be a motorsport engineer, F1 engineer. So just a lot of determination, and don't believe in what you can do. That's a big thing for women as well. Like I think a lot of times the men, they think, oh yeah, I can do that, but the woman, I'm like, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a big world, the motorsport, and it's like can be glamorous, can be daunting and stuff, but believe in yourself, and also have the determination, and when things don't go that well, to not let yourself down, and just keep going, have your goal, and even if you make a detour, you get there at one point. Yeah.
With that, what does feminine leadership mean to you? What does it look like to you?
Well, there was a lot of talk about it just recently with that the countries which have a female president or female premier doing very well with the COVID-19. So well, I think maybe this is a bit not similar to my situation, but in general, like when you're a female leader or female in an environment where not that many female work, you need to always perform more than average. You need to be better than the average, because otherwise they will point at you when you make mistakes and stuff. So you always need to stand out and make sure you have everything under control, kind of. And I think this is probably what companies with female leaders or countries, that's the same. The whole world will look at that country or at that company, and then they will say, oh yeah, because she fucked it up or something. So they have even on themselves more expectation to do not just good, but as perfect. And they have a lot of, I think, female, they take it maybe too personal sometimes, but put everything in their job or in their work to make it very well.
And how that the environment, the supercar and race circuit could be more inclusive of women in the space? Yeah, it starts earlier. It starts at the unis and stuff to have more females in technical jobs and stuff. And that's the thing. That's why I love that program there to be different, because it starts very early. The girls are 8 to 10 years. So, and this is a time where you need to put it in their head that they can do that. That's just normal, that they have someone to look up to. Young or the next generation with much more women in there, and they have now role models to look up to. Then it's also inspiring and keep them going, because I felt like when I was their age, there wasn't either. Maybe it was not just visible, because that age we didn't have so much social media and Instagram and everything. So maybe it was just not visible, all the cool women who already worked in really cool jobs and technical jobs. But yeah, hopefully next generation that changed a lot. And also, I know that you're part of the Future Females community, as am I. How did you find out about Future Females?
At first, because our workshop is in Brisbane, so I went to an event, I think it was almost 1.5 years ago now, there in Brisbane, and I just loved it. Even though I had no idea about entrepreneurship, it's not only about, it's not for women who want to be an entrepreneur, it's for everyone. It's so many interesting stories, and just meet all the other women who have their passion and all that. So since ever then, I try to go to as many events as I can, and now be an ambassador as well. So because I just love the community, and obviously I learn a lot, a new field for me as well.
Definitely. And because obviously now with the current pandemic, you're not necessarily able to do your regular engineering job for the racing team. Everyone's obviously waiting until we can perform again. What have you been doing in the meantime, and when does it look like you'll be able to go back to being an engineer?
Yeah, so actually we go back next week. So in Australia, because Australia has very few cases, so they lifting the restriction within Australia quite well, or there's not that many restrictions anymore. So we're going back next week to the racetrack. And the last couple of months, so there was a bit of downtime, and it was good to catch up on some work which has been kind of left on the side because we're always so busy. But then on the other hand, I got time to invest in other fields, which always I like to put more knowledge in and everything. But my life last year was a bit crazy. I traveled, what did I count? 196 days. I was not at home, so I had no time for anything else than work. And when I was not at work, I didn't feel like I want to invest in a new skill or learn something new. So that was really good. Obviously it wasn't good, but I try to use it in a good way to learn about business and entrepreneurship and all that.
Awesome. Well, hopefully something entrepreneur comes out soon from your side. I can just imagine all the exciting things you must have and ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. When you have more time for yourself, you get all these ideas, and it's actually it's a very different time. And obviously you're a bit scared and anxious what will happen, especially in the beginning when it like all stopped and I'm like, oh, well, I can't go to work. What's that? They stopped the races. What? I'm like, I felt like lost because it's like obviously a big part of my life, my work, and but then I try to see what I else can get out of it at the end of this pandemic. What else? Well, how can I get out there with them having some positive on my personality or on me.
I'm going to move us into the next segment that I like to call the ABCs of your career.
Yeah. Okay.
A, what was your amazing affluent aha moment?
So what I thought about it so when I was still I was studying engineering, but I wasn't really, knew I wanted to work with road cars or like designing cars. But then one day, well, I always was, in Germany, we always watched F1. A lot of people watch it because they were like Michael Schumacher and other big drivers. So actually I watched it it's always Sunday afternoon. And then I saw they showed the engineers. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is what I want to do. It was really like that, a click. I'm like, yep, that's a cool engineering job. So that's, I think, when I first really realized, yep, that's exactly what I want to go do.
That's so cool. Yep, that's me. And now it is.
Yeah, it is. Funny, eh?
And B, what was your bad business blunder in your career?
So, well, to be honest, after I finished, that was during uni. I really wanted, or after uni, or when I was across uni, I wanted to work abroad. I actually spent 1 year in Singapore studying, and after that, I'm like, I need to find a job somewhere else. And to be honest, I still remember, I counted it, 57 CVs or application to different companies abroad to do my final year project, and none of them, some people replied, but none of them had an opportunity for me, and I was so desperate in that. So, but in the end, it was good. It never worked out. But in the end, and I was pretty sad about it. It went on for a month, and I'm like, I can't believe that, like just anyone gives me a internship or a final year project somewhere. But then in the end, obviously, if it wouldn't have gone that way, I probably would not be where I am now. So I'm pretty happy that I stayed in Germany and worked in motorsport there.
Okay, so you just ended up saying, okay, fine, I'll stay in Germany, and then you got your internship. Okay, that finally.
Yes, yeah. And I was even about to take, I applied for companies which were not even really into automotive or anything. I'm like, just anywhere, not in Germany. I'm like, just give me any job. But good not of the companies who are not even in automotive. Didn't want me.
And C, what was your cinematic worthy cock up?
I don't know. I thought I probably had a lot, and I already erased them in my head because they were
don't remember.
Embarrassing. But I think I don't even know anymore. But I had a few. First, I probably sent a message to someone where I shouldn't have sent to them because it was not for them. And also, I think I don't remember exactly when or where who. But I talked about someone, and then they were actually just standing behind me or something like that.
It really is a cinematic moment. You see the movies where you're talking, and then they're right behind me, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, that's me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And now we move to the challenge section.
Ooh. Okay. Oh, and I'm a good drawer. This is the engineers. They usually don't draw. They're not that. They don't have that much talent in any art or music field.
So creative.
Yeah. So, and I'm not allowed to say anything, hey?
No. Is that hockey? Golf?
Yeah, golf.
That was. I'm impressed with myself.
It looks more like hockey, to be honest.
Okay. Oh, this one's gonna be fun to draw. Okay. I want to see if I can try and do it this way so you can see.
Oh yeah, okay. Should I have done it like that as well? Next one. Is it the dog or no? Beer? No, lion.
Yes.
Yes. You're good, Troy.
Thanks. Let's do one more round. That was quite good. That went really quickly.
Yes. Okay, now I do it like you as well. Try to draw. Oh, well, let me do that. Okay.
I can't really see. The screen is like making the page too wide.
Yeah, okay.
A room fan, ceiling fan?
Yes. Ceiling fan.
Oh, can you see?
Yes. Yeah, you have the perfect pen for it. Table?
Yes.
Dining table? Oh, that's all right.
That was a good round. I think we did really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you undersold yourself on your artistic talents, though.
Oh. All right.
Awesome. So I like to close off the interview with just a quick fire round of questions, stuff that you haven't been able to prepare for. So it's just off the top of your head. Let me know what comes. What's your favorite genre of music?
Hip hop.
What are 3 books that you can recommend anyone to read?
I like a lot the books from Paulo Coelho. So which one? 11 Minutes, The Alchemist, and actually there's another German writer, old book, like from Hermann Hesse. It's called Siddhartha. I like that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you a morning person or an evening person?
Morning person, 100%. Like, there's no chance I can do any work after 6 p.m.
Thank you. Me too. I can't. I'm up at 5 and I'm happy. I get everything done in the morning. As soon as my working hours are done, it takes me so long to do anything.
Yeah, but sometimes I can go back into it, like at 6 or after, but for 100% sure, as soon as I wake up, my brain goes on, and then I can work like 4 hours fully concentrated, and then slowly goes in. As my baby comes back. But yeah, the first 4 hours of the day is definitely my most productive ones.
And what is a daily ritual you wouldn't be able to live without?
Well, at the moment, because I'm not traveling much, I will watch the sunrise every day. So the sunrise over the ocean here. So I go every day watching. It's always different, and it's always magic for me. And it gives so much. You cannot feel bad after. Hey, you cannot. It's like it's always like inspiring. Like, and you have time to thing and like plan your day in your head, and gives you time to before rushing into work or something. At the moment, this is definitely my daily ritual, which I want to have.
And around what time does the sun rise?
At the moment, pretty late because it's winter, so it's 6:20 or so. Okay. In summer, it's crazy early. It's like 4, so like.
Do you get up at 4 and go watch it?
Not 4, but maybe because it gets really hot here as well in summer. So at 5, I'm definitely up. There's no, you cannot sleep long. Oh, you can, especially in aircon, but I like to use the day. So in summer, I'm for sure up at 5. Yeah.
Oh, I lost you. It was so interesting talking to you. And yeah, I'm sure we'll be in touch. I'll definitely keep an eye out on your activity with Future Females and the Brisbane chapter. And definitely keep an eye out for you as well on the circuit when you're back on going next week. Hopefully you guys can have the car on the track again. Thank you so much again, Romy. I hope that you have a wonderful evening. I know it's evening your side, and I wish you all the best, and I'm sure we'll be in touch soon. What we can definitely learn from Romy is to always hold steadfast in your belief and to back yourself to the end. She saw engineers on the screen and decided that's what she wanted to do as her career and didn't waver from that moment. And now she being on the Redbull racing team and a lead engineer on the AMG GT3 circuit series, there's nothing that we can't do unless we put our mind to it, and to constantly encourage and support those around us to pursue what it is that they want.